And welcome back to the 2022 Kurt DeFris Trophy tournament here at Hunter Ice Skating Stadium. We're here for the final regular game of the competition. We're seeing top of the class New South Wales versus South Australia today. My name is Simon and with me is Sam. Good afternoon, Sam.
Good afternoon, Simon. How you going?
Oh, we're just hanging out for some excellent hockey.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
We have been treated earlier to some fantastic hockey, and just earlier, Queensland and Western Australia, probably the game of the tournament, I would say.
Yeah, it was a bit of an upset for WA considering how they've previously played in the tournament so far, but very narrow defeat for them. Yeah. So Queensland just eking that one out.
So apologies for the spoilers there, but let's just say there was almost even until right at the death, and we thought we were going into overtime, but it wasn't to be. So we've got New South Wales in the sky blue and South Australia, I keep saying Adelaide for some reason, South Australia in the red and blue on our right. So we'll just go through the teams there. So for New South Wales, we've got number 1 goalie Justin Baxter, number 2 Hugo Arps, number 8 Dakota Cooper, number 10 Max Boo, 13 Samuel Garris, 14 Thomas Garris, 17 Cheslav Kulinic, 19 Colby Schumack, 21 Lily Roberts, 24 Byron Faber, 25 Gustav Remler Jensen, 27 Gabrielle Arps, 29 Logan Brody, 31 Bryce Kitching, 35 Aidan Lee, 59 Declan Downey, 66 Ruben Nalos, 73 Ethan Elford, 77 Jacob Z, 99 Aidan Dowley, and Logan Brody and Bryce Kitching are also, Bryce Kitching is our alternate goalie there, so it'll be interesting to see who starts on that bench. For South Australia, we have goalkeeper Brody Clark at number 1, number 13 Gabrielle Kudelka, 32 Grace Callum-Bockus, 34 Layla Gavin, goalkeeper Zach Murfrin in 35, 39 Luca Loria, 49 Amber Bedell, 44 Alana Halub, 79 Nikita Loria, 60 Damon Von Onum, 62 Cameron Jack, 64 Yongad Song, 66 Marley Fode, 68 Diamond Cross, 70 Elijah Kelly, captain is Blake Ung at 73, 74 is Grady O'Brien, and 46 is Dominic Trinka. So we should see a pretty good game. South Australia haven't won a game as yet, but what we've been saying all tournament is anything can happen, and certainly the Western Australia-Queensland game proved that. It looked like Queensland had it for pretty much the whole game, and then WA just came back. So certainly anything can happen. As we said, New South Wales haven't been beaten yet, and they've put on some pretty dominant performances. So it is a big ask for South Australia, but I guess we will know in roughly 45 minutes of hockey.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. It's not long now till the end of warm. We've only got 20 seconds left in the warm-up clock, so the game will be starting shortly. Seeing what will happen.
A very interesting setup. I've never seen that for South Australia with the lineup. Definitely never seen that before. So the teams are getting ready. They're just getting rid of the pucks for the officials to collect. Our officials today are Mark O'Brien, Jeff Scott, and Craig Tonks.
So we've got a little bit of a switch up with the benches just to some changing room issues here at HIS today. So we've got home and away swapped on benches, so it'll be a little bit of interesting when it comes to changeovers throughout the game.
Yes, it definitely means, 2 periods of long changes.
Yeah.
For those at home, they don't understand the long change. So generally, if you swap sides in each period, and generally it's easier when your bench is on the side that you're actually swapping to. So it surprisingly does make a big difference, particularly if you're on the far side. Getting off the bench quickly can be problematic. So we've effectively doubled that. They've decided to swap back again.
Yes, they have.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they're keeping us on our toes, that's for sure.
Absolutely. We were told that they were going to stick to the opposite benches, but there you go. Anything can happen.
That's it. All right, we're getting ready for that opening face-off now. What do you think we're going to see here? Do you think New South Wales is going to continue their dominance so far, or...?
I suspect that's going to be the case. I do hope South Australia are able to really provide a matchup. Definitely, unfortunately, South Australia aren't in the running for any of the finals because of the results of the table. But I certainly want to make sure that South Australia should play and hopefully they can hold their head up.
Yeah, well, they've started strong, straight into the offensive zone.
South Australia D controlling it.
Getting it out of the zone, clearing it out to push back down into the blue zone.
Some nice push there, dumping it in by Young. Some good forward checking there, but New South Wales able to get into the zone quite easily. The D trying to control it. Nice sweep and lots of bodily contact there. Halub controls that puck and tries to skate it out of the zone, which she does. She gets knocked down there. So a lot of physicality, which is in some ways very good to see, although the officials may have to look at that over time and see if it doesn't, hopefully it doesn't heat up into something a little bit more.
Keep it tempered a bit.
Yes. This level is a contact competition, but they're certainly not trying to line people up. Well, you shouldn't be anyway.
You shouldn't be. We've seen a little bit of brawls, not too bad, but a little bit of violence so far in the tournament.
Yeah, so as you can imagine, the young kids, rush of blood. It is a competition, so sometimes the intensity can get away with them. So New South Wales gather it up from the deep corner. Lauria manages to, and lovely little pass and gathers it back again from Trink.
Change over to New South Wales, and they've cleared the zone.
Hugo again on the fourth check. South Australia able to control that, and they basically run it in.
A little bit of an opening here for South Australia to get some shots in, but New South Wales have cleared it out.
Yeah, no, there's a little bit of a collision there, but it's called it good. As New South Wales go for a little bit of a change there.
New South Wales trying to just keep it in the zone, get some shots off. And South Australia battling to get it out of the zone desperately.
South Australia are doing really well, given the performances of the New South Wales team that we've seen so far. So certainly South Australia are matching them, which is excellent to see. Again, loses a little bit of skates, but managed to get it. Oh, unfortunately gets stolen. Stolen again by Boo.
Straight
and
into the pads.
Beautiful.
Straight in the chest there. Well saved.
Yes.
All right, so we'll be looking at a far face-off by the looks of this. Yep.
So in goals for South Australia, we got Zach Marathon, and he's done good. He did a very good save from there. We got Bryce Kitching for New South Wales on the opposite net. New South Wales trying to control that. Goes to the blue line, sends it in. Marathon just glides it out to this deep end. Again, New South Wales bring it back. Oh, it's good for checking. They're unable to control it though, and New South Wales are able to get it back. Halub sends it deep. Oh.
And New South Wales just happy to freeze that puck. Give themselves some breathing room. Set up for a new face-off.
Yes. Kitching definitely had to play that with the stick and then freeze it as the pressure came from South Australia. So again, really encouraging to see how South Australia are playing.
Yeah, not letting the fact that they're versing the top team in the comp so far, just putting their all into it.
Ung sends it wide, deep and wide. Tries the shot on net, but unable to get on net. Again, New South Wales charging through.
Just nicely.
Yes.
Not being able to hold on to that puck, unfortunately.
South Australia bring it back in. Oh, a little bit of a miscommunication. It scoots behind them, and unfortunately South Australia are deemed offside. So we'll have a intra-zone face-off.
Yeah, it's been a very back and forth game so far. I haven't seen a lot of games so far today. We've seen early goals, so it's a nice change of pace to see a lot of battling for positions.
Yes, We've also seen a lot of penalties, so it's although I probably have spoken too soon, it's nice, refreshing to see that there's not early penalties. And a great slapper coming through, and Kitching directs that with his chest pad and drives it to the side. We're out to safety. Great stick battle. It is tangled there. Plenty of bodies trying to get it out, but New South Wales managed to poke it out. D tries to poke check and can't quite control it there.
Ooh, slipping up in front of the goalpost there and not be able to...
That went over.
Bounced over the head of the goalie.
That was deflected off a stick, it looked like, and it went high.
Yeah, I thought it was the goalie's pad for a second.
New South Wales decided to bring it around the net and come through. Challenged by Laurier there. He has to get rid of it, but it finds Lee in the open, who's now pressured by South Australia, who managed to get it off him quite handily. Flicks it forward, touches it with beautiful little deft touch to bring it out of the zone, so New South Wales have to get back on side. Loses the stick, has to pick it up again. The puck was open. It was certainly
going down for an icing.
Yeah.
Yes, it will. Be coming straight back.
So excellent pressure from South Australia to cause the icing. Ref checking to see that there isn't a change out. So we're back in the New South Wales zone. All that icing came from the pressure of South Australia. The puck certainly was not in control there.
Yeah, it was. New South Wales are just battling to keep it out of the zone. South Australia keeping some intense pressure on them.
I think they definitely want this one if they can. Maybe put a little bit down in New South Wales' mind too.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Nice entry into the zone with a nice little shot. Shame it went a little bit wide though.
Yeah. And so that was Simon Garris with a great breakout, a local Newcastle product. Had a shot, wasn't able to get on. South Australia bring back through Laurier. Laurier managed to duck that attempted contact. Able to control it, brings it around the net. We have it. Well,
just deflected the wrong direction for the South Australian player there, waiting for it.
Went for the rebound, and unfortunately it just didn't quite get there. Rebound again, wasn't connected by New South Wales to put it in net. Not for lack of trying, though.
New South Wales just taking control of the puck again, trying to get some room to set up for another entry into the zone.
Nice shot, deflected by Murphy there.
We'll be seeing South Australia just exiting the zone, trying to get control of the puck again, see if they can push back in, but New South Wales taking it back straight into the zone.
Again, trying to control it. New South Wales in control, sends it to the slot. Gets deflected to the blue line, and I thought he had it there with the glove, but it was loose. Again, loose puck. It was anyone's. It was begging for a poke check from the
yeah, South Australia's screens just doing their job though.
Yeah. Again, New South Wales try to clear it out. Battle after it, but can't beat the icing call.
Yep, straight back down to the South Australian zone for a face-off. So, yeah.
So New South Wales go for a change. South Australia obviously have to stay on due to the icing. Hopefully they can clear it out and go for a quick change. They've been on the ice for a little bit there.
All right, we'll be seeing that close slide face-off there. South Australia will be looking to get this out of the zone as quickly as possible.
Liney's just checking to make sure they're all in position. It's just very easy to cheat on the face-off a little bit by not being in the right position or creeping forward. Some excellent forward checking there from Grace Cullenbookus. New South Wales back in it. Who passes it on. And a shot, high and wide. It's New South Wales managed to get it back.
Yeah, they're looking for another shot. There's some power coming in with those shots from New South Wales.
Again, referee not quite being able to freeze that puck. Blocking it, but the rebounds are there for the taking if New South Wales want it.
South Australia just happy to clear it out of the zone and come in for a change, but it's an icing, unfortunately, so they'll be coming straight back to their own zone.
Yeah, so no change for South Australia. They've been asked to come back onto the ice. As soon as the hand goes up for the icing call, you aren't allowed to change if it eventually gets to the icing whistle.
Seeing, yeah, South Australia lining up for a very defensive face-off.
Again, South Australia win that face-off very nicely. Oh, I'm not sure what happened there. Send it deep. Send it nice and wide. Got
straight onto the goalie so they don't get that icing.
No, Kitchen decides to play it rather than leave it. New South Wales again trying to control it. South Australia managed to snaffle it. And, oh, a little bit of a collision there. Draws the penalty.
A bowling penalty coming to New South Wales. So we'll see power play coming up for South Australia. 7 minutes into the... So just over halfway. I think that's the longest period we've gone without a penalty for a while in this tournament.
Yeah, so almost halfway through the first period in our first penalty.
Let's see if South Australia can capitalise on this and try and get a point in there.
So Byron Faber is in the box for 2 minutes. So let's see what South Australia can do with the person advantage. This is a good opportunity for South Australia if they can control it. Lube chases after it, just can't hold it in the zone. Gets sent far and wide. They're trying to use that. Oh, lost it in the skates, but luckily South Australia pick it up again. Push it through, and they send it deep. But there's three players going deep, trying to stop that. Oh, lovely little piece of play. Needs to flick it forward, and they do. And they get a score.
Goal to South Australia.
Excellent little play on the power play, using them. And so Cameron Jack scores that goal from a beautiful pass from behind, and we'll see that on the replay.
Just up in a second. South Australia with a very minor celebration, surprisingly.
So it was the two players making that aggressive forecheck that caused the error and basically allowed them that little dump in front of the paint. And Cameron Jack was just able to get it on the backhand and lift it up over the pads into the net. Again, South Australia feeling pretty buoyant. That's must be feeling pretty buoyant. They've put one on New South Wales, which is, as we've seen in the competition, pretty rare.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. New South Wales has played very dominant so far in this competition, so it's a bit of a change of pace for them.
It's rare to see New South Wales on the back foot. Downey falls over, unfortunately, as he tries to steer that behind the net. And New South Wales are again on the attack. This is Tom Garris with a strong run. But South Australia centre forward, don't think that will beat the icing. Oh, yes, no, they did. Again, South Australia keep it in the zone.
Trying to set up for another shot as they do a chain over, but unable to keep it in the zone entirely.
Get a little bit caught up there. New South Wales decide to settle it down, wait for it. Tom gets bodied off the puck. New South Wales decide to just switch it up and bring it in. Some beautiful tape-to-tape passing, I must say. These kids are just incredible in terms of the skill and the speed, and also their commitment. No one can fault their commitment to their play. And the ref has been taken out. Hopefully he's okay. He's moving around fine, relatively fine. We've lost
stick.
We've lost the stick. Oh, and it's a match. That's
goal for New South Wales was a down play without a stick. So
yeah, Gustav Remler Jensen, and they were a person down because of that lost stick. They had to go and get it. So Remler Jensen's telling them that they need to get one more, which is not inaccurate.
Yeah, they need to get that lead on South Australia. Here we see the replay, just passing it around the side.
Comes around and wheels around the goalie.
Right in that little gap there between the pole and the goalie's pads.
Couldn't quite cover it, Murphy, unfortunately. New South Wales touches up and a good chase and beat that puck easily down at the bottom end. South Australia looking to bring it out. We've got Song just chasing hard, but can't keep up there. Oh, he's in a good position. Goes for the sweep, but not managed to knock off the New South Wales. And there's a,
almost a capitalisation on that pass to another goal.
Boo just could not get onto that puck to just deflect it in, unfortunately. The net was open. So this is the style of play that we're used to seeing from New South Wales. Again, they're moving it forward at will. But South Australia is still giving them trouble, which is really pleasing to see. Again, oh, nice block. And again, blocked. Not quite able to stop. And
a little bit of shoving in front of the goals there, but South Australia just freezing that puck and getting ready for that face-off.
Taking a little bit of pressure by freezing that puck and allowing South Australia to change out and reset. And sometimes that's what you need to do. Especially if the momentum is swinging the other way. Sometimes it is. Even an icing can change that. Just breaks it up. Again, oh, nice high rising shot and hits the top post and up out into the netting. And we're going to have, again, a near side face-off. Solani picks up the puck. New South Wales get ready. South Australia ready. Puck drop. Again, couldn't quite control that. Although New South Wales are in control here again in the bottom corner. Not much of an option for a pass, so he decides to cycle it backward. Reverse it. Again, they're just playing around in the back of the net and looking for that pass in the slot. All it takes is a little bit of a poke with the stick, and that's often enough to score a goal when the puck is travelling. South Australia were able to get it out. Cross couldn't quite control it. Able to get it back though, and then unfortunately skates it. A little bit of a tumble. Need to get back on side, and they do. South Australia are able to chase. So we got Ung chasing and Jack chasing it up. Puts a bit of pressure and able to claim it, and the blue line manages to send it deep again. Got a little bit of a tussle there. Looking for the pass and not able to hold the puck though. Not able to keep it in, and we're in the neutral zone yet again. Puck goes skating out, and New South Wales control looks for a little bank pass and lovely little wait to get to her teammate. Yeah. Again, just that harassment. It's a little bit of a collision there as we go down. Again, physicality. Using the shoulder, and New
South Wales are in.
New South Wales picks up that rebound and basically dumps it in.
South Wales just showing that even though there's a few little bit of tangles with the other team there on the way into the zone, doesn't slow them down. They can still score off that. As we'll see here in that replay.
And Jacob is there in position, and Jacob Zeal just picks up the large rebound. I always say when you shoot for the net, make sure you mean it, because you can often get a really big rebound, and that's right for the picking.
Got that player there waiting for it.
Yeah.
Just right place, right time.
So the rebound is a hard shot to stop as a goaltender. Again, New South Wales looking for that. Can't quite get behind it. Managed to control it again, but South Australia gather that up and try and steer it out of their zone, which they do handily. Again, Song is playing with that, trying to get it through. South Australia again, the D picking it up, pushes it forward, just steers it into the New South Wales zone there. As New South Wales bring it up and bring it behind the net. Again, a heavy challenge for Song. That's excellent forechecking there. And again, that's great work. Song manages to gather that up. Looks for the centre pass towards the slot, which it does. And lovely double. And he scores!
In the back of the net, just off that rebound.
Again, goes for the rebound and just picks it up and just jumps it in behind the net. So
just tenacious about it, trying to make sure they get that goal in there.
It's a really pleasing play from South Australia. It's good to see that they're on. Really making a showing of it. As I said, they're unfortunately out of the running in the finals, but definitely they want to play and keep their heads up and play for pride. South Australia pride. puck gets caught in the Liney's skates as the players battle for it. Again, South Australia just pushing out, but New South Wales control it and tries to send it, but it's blocked handily. Again, just these little crafty little poke checks, just disrupting play. Murphin decides to freeze it and gives his team a little bit of a break.
Yeah, with 1.5 minutes left in the play, they'll be looking to try and just get something going on to try and break up the play before they move into the second period.
Both teams at the near side face off, and the puck gets dropped. South Australia win that and decide to cycle it back. Again, tries to reverse it, but it gets blocked by the New South Wales player. Again, as they go through, decides to bring it behind the net to be picked up by the New South Wales player. Unfortunately, he was there to pick it up, so probably not the option there. New South Wales getting a little bit of control. A little bit of control of the situation, trying to pull it back. It's unfamiliar territory for New South Wales to be square at this stage, which is, I guess, almost refreshing.
Yeah, you love a little bit of an underdog story, don't you?
Yeah. I guess as a New South Welshman, I suppose I should be barracking for New South Wales, but to look at hockey's the winner, as they say.
That's it. Like, it's just enjoyable watching these kids play. Like, they have so much fire and they're so good at what they do.
Yeah. Definitely, if you're watching this, and I guess take note of some of these names, because I am sure you're going to see some of these names in AI games or AW games, essentially. So it's even in 4 or 5 years, these kids are going to be household names in hockey. So yeah, New South Wales just dancing around, managed to beat 3 South Australian players to bring it out of the zone and decides to dump it deep. The New South Wales managed to beat the icing there. Again, going into the corners, and the corner battles have been really good. Again, New South Wales looking, throws it in centre and gives his partner an option there at the slot. South Australia getting her 2-on-1. Haloon manages to join in and gather the puck momentarily. Again, lovely use of the stick. Managed to disrupt that New South Wales play, and there we have it.
There's the buzzer, the first intermission, which is only a 3-minute intermission, but hopefully it's enough for both teams to settle their minds and get focused on what they need to do for the second period.
Yeah. There's not much of a break in between periods, but these young athletes should be able to handle it. Just to remind you that the third period is broken up with an ice clean, so we will probably have a 10-minute break between. So New South Wales having a bit of a chat there. The team, what do you think the New South Wales coach is saying at this point?
I mean, probably something along the lines of just enter the zone and put it in the back of the net. That's generally a gist of what they try to say, I feel.
Yeah.
Seems pretty straightforward, but it's the important thing to do, right?
Yeah, I don't know how many times I've told my team on the television to shoot the puck, particularly during its power play.
That's it.
I'm pretty sure that works, you know.
Yeah, just look, if you're not shooting, you're not scoring, so you might as well just keep shooting.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly, I think New South Wales, I guess the coach would probably be saying, to really calm down. They're still in control mostly. Yes, South Australia have given them a little bit of a jump, and that's good. I imagine the South Australia coach would be saying exactly the same and saying, keep doing what you're doing because, hey, it's working.
Yeah, they're keeping pressure on New South Wales the entire time, and as soon as New South Wales does anything, so like tries to set up a goal or anything, they just immediately respond and start pushing for their own goals.
And they certainly have done that, as the score tells the tale, 2-all. It's really nice to show that the score actually reflects the level of effort, because we have seen some one-sided scores in this tournament, which really don't tell how much of a battle the game actually was.
Today's been a bit of a change-up with that. Like, we've had 2 games in a row that have been very close scorelines throughout. So we'll see if that continues to happen with this second period.
Yeah, so as the teams come out, South Australia moving into the face-off zone. Clay Trinker is going to be taking the face-off for South Australia against Max Boo. As ref checks to see that the goalies are ready and drops the puck. New South Wales win that handling and decide to bring it down, to settle it down. Looks for the long stretch pass, gloves it down beautifully. Sees the wing on the... Brody there on the wing in open space, decides to go for the pass and does so, but unfortunately unable to control it fully, so South Australia grab control again. So, again, some good challenges there. Brew with the pass into the centre. And again, New South Wales are just able to keep it in that zone by Schumack. But South Australia finally get it. Go for a dump. Unfortunately, it's probably a little bit too deep, and it's likely to be caught in icing, which it is. So
back into the offensive zone for New South Wales, straight in front of South Australia's goalie.
So as a player, if you're going to jump in here, you really have to try and make that red line in the centre before you do. Otherwise, it is an icing. And the penalty icing is obviously you can't change out your team. So it's usually fresh legs versus not fresh legs. Plus the fact that the team has territory. Laureate manages to sneak that through and gets muscled, but gets brought down. Couldn't quite control it. An excellent run by Laureate. Still getting up and really managed to get there. Beto with the shot gets blocked. Almost excellent play. Trinker with the shot and has a go. Nerfin had to stop that and does so. Scrambles and falls over but manages to get back up in time. Again, South Australia putting that pressure. Again, Murphin with the... apologies, Kitching. I believe I've switched my goalies, haven't I?
That's all right. We've got a frozen puck now, so New South Wales will be looking to just get it out of the zone. South Australia have been relentless just then.
Absolutely, and it's good to see. Really, South Australia are giving it all they got, and it's showing. And it's the scoreline says it. Could give New South Wales a bit of a scare here. A huge slapper. Can't quite get fully onto it, so it doesn't quite reach the net as planned. New South Wales manages to get again disrupted. Kudelka manages to swing and tries to sweep it away, but can't. Again, New South Wales just controlling it. Gets hustled, so has to dump it deep where New South Australia can pick it up behind the net and manage to get that out for the breakout. Looking for the centre to break it out to. Can't quite get it. That was quite dangerous. Song was in the right spot to pick that off, but couldn't quite get there. Again. Yes, again. With the shot.
There. New South Wales just figuring it out of the zone, trying to push it down in South Australia's zone.
Again, high and wide, it goes up into the netting and out. So some excellent sequences from South Australia there, and a good response from New South Wales. But certainly New South Wales were under a lot of pressure in their zone. So we have an offensive face-off for New South Wales now. So as the teams swap out, Jack slides to the dot, and we should be ready for puck drop. Again, New South Wales guided back to the blue line, tries to steer it, but too many bodies in the way, so South Australia have control. Again, just pushes it, couldn't quite control it fully, bounces off the stick from cross. Nalos is in there with the goal, has a shot. Murphy just steers that away with the stick quite handily into the bottom corner. Some excellent board battles in that corner there as two correction, 3 New South Wales and 2 South Australian players battle it out. Again, South Australia trying to get it over that blue line to make New South Wales set up, and they do, and they push it up, and he elects to, Kitching decides to freeze it as there was a danger play as South Australia were running in.
Yeah, just all those South Australia players barreling in on him, just didn't want a bar of it. He's happy to just freeze it up and go back for a face-off.
Yeah, Diamond Cross was definitely running in and was in a good position to pick up that puck if Kitching hadn't frozen it. Again, a bit of a tie-up in that just loses him momentarily on the blue line there, home right. Again, South Australia are really sticking it to New South Wales. Sends it in, but too many bodies in the way. And just not the shooting lane there for Kelly. Again, New South Wales managed to bring it out. Skating backwards, controlling that, and
New South Wales in the back of the net.
Tom Garris was just able to get it free. We thought South Australia had that, but Tom was able to get in the position, and a beautiful pass there. And they pumped. I believe the pass was from Elford, and Tom was able to bury the net.
Here we go with that replay. Beats that one defender, passes it into center, and just straight in the back of the net around the corner of the goalie.
Yeah, so
very clean play there. Nice pass, well team worked.
Just managed to get that pass through despite the D being in the way there. So again, showing the skill sets of these kids. Some fantastic releases. Certainly better shots than I could ever pull off.
Yeah, that's for sure. Let's not mention how well I play hockey.
Again, sends it in by Gabby Arps. Sends it deep to control it into the zone. Looks for the pass in the middle, but unable to steer it in front of into the slot. South Australia again trying to get it out there. Well kept in, but not able to. Again, bottom corner battle as they battle it out. Bodies falling everywhere. South Australia with a big shot. Oh, blocked again. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That was an excellent piece of play from South Australia. Amber Bedell had the prime shot in the slot, and somehow Kitchen managed to snaffle that with his left arm. He just tucked it in and managed to tuck it in, catch that.
Here we go with the replay on that one.
Again, just that bounce off the body, and Bedell had the prime shot in front and did the right thing, but Kitchen unfortunately was a little bit better.
South Australia winning that face-off just there, trying to send it, but New South Wales taking control of that puck and skating out into the South Australia zone.
Boo with the heavy shot, and it's gloved down by Murphin into the corner. South Australia again control it. Oh, just fans on it, unfortunately. New South Wales send it back in. Brody picks that up into the corner. He's going to try and steer it around from the looks of it. Oh, he loses a couple of tyres there and falls over. And South Australia dump it deep, but unfortunately for an icing. So we are going to be back into the New South Wales zone.
Just over 5 minutes into the period. We've got just under 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, so again, maybe speaking too soon, but we haven't seen a lot of penalties, which I guess has been a bit of a feature of the tournament.
Yeah, it's been a very clean game overall so far, which is very different to most of the other games so far this tournament.
And really competitive, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Again, South Australia skating through. Kudelka just loses it, unfortunately, as he hits the red line. And Nalos with the shot. That's Reffin is handily able to glove. As they go again for a face-off, and South Australia elect for a full change at this point. So forward lines coming through. New South Wales decide to do suit.
We've got this defensive zone face-off for New South Wales, just trying to further their lead.
New South Wales trying to send it in, wasn't able to get fully onto it, so it's blocked and handled by South Australia. Chasing that puck there. Good battle by Jack and Nalos there. Managed to dump it deep. Again with the forecheck. Oh, Nalos is in a good position, but will he beat the icing? No, unfortunately not for New South Wales. So again, a little bit of pressure, so forcing that icing on the team. Again, it's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, it gives them a chance to reset.
But
try and plan it out, yeah.
Yeah. But generally, icing can be a little bit as a result of a little bit of a scramble. not quite waiting that pass. So Liney drops the puck again. Yet again, New South Wales picked that up and tried to swing it, reverse it around the net there into the bottom corner. And blocked beautifully by Loria. Tries to have a shot. Oh, again, that all in the right spot yet again, but unable to get it to her.
New South Wales just with such a strong defence today.
Definitely Loria with a heavy shot and pitching again. Just takes that to the chest plate. And
straight on the logo there.
It's not meant to be a target, but you know, it's handy in this point. So again, just able to keep that in, and just a really heavy shot. Fantastic pressure from South Australia. They've kept them in the zone for the last minute or so. So excellent play. And New South Wales are winning these face-offs, but they have been struggling. And Remlin Jensen needs to play it and decides to play with the stick. Beto pushes it forward. So we get Loria trying to go down and around, coasting around behind the net, scooping through, and Kitching had to grab that loose little poke towards the net.
Just getting ready for that new face-off. South Australia with so much pressure on New South Wales right now. New South Wales just struggling to cope, but their defence is playing wonderfully right now.
Absolutely. Trinka wins that face-off, and tries to deflect it, and it's a little bit wide and high, unfortunately. Again, New South Wales managed to pick that loose puck in the centre, runs it wide, it comes it through, tries to steer it through, and power drive there, unable to, just scoots across the face of the goal, unfortunately. South Australia chasing after. Again, Loria, some strong skating from that young man. New South Wales coming through, heavy shot, high and wide to the right of the post. Again, New South Wales, the cut, he doesn't know where it is. He certainly lost it. It was just in between his feet, between the pads at the 5-hole, but he wasn't quite aware where it was. So
yeah, refs still just calling it a frozen puck, just saving New South Wales from having to put in that extra pressure for another point.
You see the scramble there as he doesn't realise where it is, and then finally he jumps onto it when he locates it. So face off again in the South Australia defence zone. Again, South Australia win that and wheel that around to the other side. Again, New South Wales managed to seal that, and we got Tom Garris in a prime position, has a shot, and it's easily stopped.
Straight into the glove there.
Definitely had clear sight of that shot and was able to glove that.
It's like we're playing baseball all of a sudden.
Yes, it's not too dissimilar, the catcher with the baseball glove. New South Wales again down the blue line, tries to steer it in and deflect it in. It goes wide again. South Australia trying to bring it out. Tong is there trying to bring it out, but wasn't able to get to it. South Australia gather it up again. So that's Brady O'Brien bringing it out. The loose puck, and bounces off a body, fortunately for South Australia, as it's misdirected. Again, New South Wales sending it through. Scooped up by Layla Gaveen there to bring it out, and South Australia still chasing. Tom Garris with the puck, bringing it through. Lovely little pass, and now it's a 2-on-1, and look, he uses the partner and sends it through, but it hits the post as it's covered by Murphy. South Australia tried to get it out in that breakout, but pass got blocked. Song has got the puck. Lovely little dance. He's able to control it. Tries to protect the puck. It gets bumped off. Again, Gaveen pushes it forward into the zone. Goes for a quick change.
South Australia just keeping the pressure, trying to keep it in the zone there. But New South Wales just managing to clear it out and battling down on the red line now. Right,
Allison Kelly down there in the bottom. Well, O'Brien tries to steer it around. Doesn't quite get all around it to get it out of the zone as I think he intended. New South Wales still scoop it up. Again, lovely little use of the stick to break up that play. And again, a good chase there from Mung to get down to the bottom. Oh, heavy hits, but he's got to use that. And the puck is loose, and it goes up and
still battling, it's still loose.
Oh, it's almost impossible to tell what's happening there.
There we go. The puck's frozen by the goalie.
Fantastic scrambling play by both teams. South Australia really unlucky not to score in that situation.
Yeah, such an intense just little battle there. Couldn't tell where it was half the time. Both teams struggling, but New South Wales managed to come out on top and secure that puck.
So amazing hockey, scrambling hockey.
Let's see here in this replay. Yep. Wrong camera. That's all right.
Unfortunately, we missed that replay, but that's okay. We all saw it in the first shot. So scrambling hockey again. New South Wales trying to direct it out. A nice little check. Skeep that in. Laura scoops it up but loses it immediately. New South Wales single man out, coming in through. Tries to dance around and last minute and crashes into the net. And we may be assessed a goal interference, possibly. Interference is called. Nets are off the post there. Hopefully Murphy is all right. He's shaking the leg a little bit there. It's really hard.
So we'll be seeing 2 minutes coming here to South Australia. So nice power play coming up for New South Wales. So
Jack has been assessed for interference there. Didn't quite see that, but he may have just accidentally pushed the New South Wales player into his own goalie, which sometimes happens when you're battling for the puck in that zone. So New South Wales are on the power play.
Face off just out the front of the Zamboni doors, seeing if New South Wales can score an extra point and widen their lead.
So we've got 5.5 minutes left in this period with a 2-minute power play. New South Wales trying to control that, sends it down. He sends that down to the bottom of the zone. Again, swing it back and switch it up to the blue line. Blue line, again, they're trying to control it. Beautiful passing. South Australia having to move around, and it's a little bit of a miscue. And Loria, fast skating. Oh!
We got an arm up from the ref. We'll be getting a tripping penalty probably for that one.
Yeah, and I would say that would probably a tripping on Loria, and it is. So we have 4-on-4 hockey here for 1 minute 28 seconds, assuming no change in the score. Down into the box for tripping there. So South Australia have a face-off in their zone, and it's 4-on-4 hockey. 4-on-4 hockey, lots of space. Favours the fast and the good stick handlers.
Yeah, it'll make passing so much more important for clearing through those open players.
Possession is the key when you're short and there's open ice. Again, South Australia scooped that up. Look at Trinka went for the pass, managed to get it back anyway to Loria. Loria decides to bring it, just loses it in that last little bit. Again, Trinka with the puck, dances it around to Kelly. Kelly decides to go himself. But Trinka with the poke check and managed to scoop that off. Now Boo, but Boo is still fighting there. Excellent intensity from both. Again, Trinka decides to scoop. And we have a 2-on-3. Looking for the pass. Just needed to get it to it, but it was blocked off by the New South Wales player. New South Wales are on the front foot. Brody's dancing around and has a shot, and Murphin scoops that up. And obviously Murphin is all right after that little bit of a collision, which is good to see.
So we'll see 29 seconds left on the penalty for South Australia, and they'll have a 30-second power play.
3 minutes 54 left. Score is 3 to New South Wales, 2 to South Australia. Close game, and which is excellent to see because both teams are playing really well.
So phenomenally well. It was not a scoreline I was expecting to see coming into this game, but good surprise.
It's very positive, and look, I know South Australia are probably disappointed not to made the finals, but if you can come off a decent game at the end and possibly a win, that's a good way to finish the tournament and, you know, build on what you've got. These kids are young, and so there's plenty of opportunities to learn.
Here you go, South Australia with the power play.
Yeah, definitely. And, oh, little poke that. Oh, Kitching managed to get a pad on it again. A couple of good pushes and a couple of bodies falling to the ice, and New South Wales have got it. And oh, beautiful. Song tries to stop that, but can't get that. Stop that pass. Tom Garris dancing around. He's got free, and Murphin tries to scoop it. Oh my
and
goodness!
It's in the back of the net. That's a goal. No, it's waved off.
I think the whistle was blown before it crossed the line. So we might see what happens from this. So it has been called off for now.
Here we go with that replay. Yeah, I mean, it was over the line, but they'd already blown the whistle at that point, so...
New South Wales conferring with the ref. They think, obviously, they think they should be given the goal, but unfortunately for the New South Wales, it looks like the whistle was blown before it crossed the line, so it certainly does not count. So we've got a face-off zone. Face-off in the zone. South Australia managed to control it momentarily, but New South Wales send a heavy shot on Murphy, and he blocks it. Blocks it with the blocker and deflects it out. South Australia again control that the puck. Boo managed to bring it down, tries to get it in, and got to be careful he's not still offside, so New South Wales have to touch up, which they do. Boo again gets it from after being offside and managed to send it deep. South Australia coming through, and we are 5-on-5 hockey again, so some good opportunities by both teams.
New South Wales just not able to keep it in the zone though.
Downey has to chase it down, and it's being chased by Loria, who managed to scoop it and looks for the send pass. Oh my goodness, how did he manage to stop that? That was a heavy shot. It hit the pads, and South Australian player was screaming and managed to jump out of the way, but unable to capitalise on that. So I think South Australia would have to feel a little bit unlucky.
Yes, sure. Here we go. Here's that waved off goal from before, from a different angle. You see it bouncing off. And that's where they've seen from the ref angle. That would have definitely been something that looked frozen. So yeah, it's always hard when you're on the ice there. You can't see every angle like that.
Definitely when the ref loses sight, they tend to blow the whistle. So yeah, so that's hockey. That is hockey. The New South Wales again with a heavy shot. Tom Garris couldn't quite get it onto net and sends it high and wide of the post. New South Wales again. Alford sending it deep as South Australia scooper probably goes the wrong direction there, but South Australia managed to be able to get it back there, and it's going to be icing there unless they can chase it down. It's waved away. South Australia managed to grab that, and again, plenty of scrambling play in the front, and looking for a heavy shot there, and it goes in. O'Brien sends that in. Absolute screamer from the blue line. Not sure if it was deflected in there, but O'Brien certainly initiated the shot, so should be happy with that result.
Oh, looks like we might have a goalie down. That may have gone a little too high in the 5-hole there by the looks of that.
Excellent shot there. You can see, just check to see a little bit of a push and shove, and it does scuttle through the skate. Looks to scuttle through the skates there a little bit. New South Wales just checking on their goalie. We're just waiting for confirmation. So there's going to be a little break. So we have seen some exciting hockey action, and the score is 3-3, which, given the way the tournament had been running, is, to be fair, an unexpected result, but a very pleasing result, particularly from a South Australian perspective.
Definitely, it's been a very enjoyable game so far to watch. Both teams battling so hard and putting on such a good show.
Yeah. And it looks like Kitching is back up. We just heard the stick tap, so we'll see if he's able to continue the game. So we'll see. He's just just testing his drops into his butterfly. So hopefully he's able to continue. So otherwise, we are going to see Justin Baxter in action, presumably, should Kitching not be able to continue. But hopefully that won't be a problem. So looks like Baxter's come out, but
yeah, Baxter's coming off, so Kitchen is staying in goals.
So thankfully, I'm sure the Kitching family is breathing a sigh of relief there. He appears to be okay. He's just so you might have to get dressed again, but thankfully no injury at this stage. So that's good old-fashioned hockey. Stick taps and claps all around. As Kitching definitely demonstrates the hockey spirit.
Yeah, that's it. No one wants to see an injury in this sort of play, so it's always good when they keep playing and can keep going.
Yeah. So we have seen a couple of injuries in this tournament, but fortunately nothing to be permanent. And all the players have managed to back up. So again, South Australia win that and gets muscled into the boards there as New South Wales try to control it and take it out of the zone. Again, Brody managed to push it onto his skates and onto his stick somehow. Again, Laura really managed challenging and getting challenged by Brody there, and then getting challenged by the two New South Wales and loses the stick in the process, unfortunately, and that subsequently loses the puck. We have a foot chase. Oh, nice use of the body there from both of those players there. So
just under 20 seconds left in the period. New South Wales battling in front of the goals there, trying to get another point and put that lead back on there.
Alud went down, trying to battle the puck, and lovely block there from Trinka. Bet that stung a little bit. Yeah, he feels his shins as he goes through. Those pucks, as much as the padding protects you, they still sting.
They're hard. They hurt.
Speaking from experience. So there you have it, folks. An exciting second period. Definitely 3-3, both to New South Wales and South Australia. South Australia giving New South Wales a reckoning, and which is excellent to see. So certainly South Australia definitely need to keep their head up and be proud of their efforts so far. But we have 15 minutes of hockey left in this 2022 Kurt DeFris hockey tournament. And this, just a reminder, this is the final game of the regular game.
Final series tomorrow for it. So semis first thing up in the morning.
We are definitely in store for some exciting finals for tomorrow. So we're about to have an ice clean as the Zamboni drives out to do an ice clean. So we should be back in about 10 minutes. So you're watching the 2022 Kurt DeFris hockey tournament at Hunter Ice Skating Stadium. We'll catch you in about 10 minutes' time. Welcome back to the Hunter Ice Skating Stadium for the 2022 Kurt DeFris Hockey Tournament. We are watching New South Wales versus South Australia, and the score is 3-all. So New South Wales and South Australia are getting set up for puck drop. Surprisingly, South Australia have given a really good showing in this first two periods. So given the way the tournament has panned out, and given how New South Wales played, this is quite a pleasing result for South Australia.
Yeah, as we thought about and talked about a little bit during the intermission, that New South Wales, this is their second game they've played today, so maybe they're feeling a bit of fatigue as well, which might be playing into account, but it's part of tournaments, you got to deal with that.
Absolutely, it could be the fact Laurie is chasing that puck there, and Bedell as well. And New South Wales gliding it into the centre, managed to scoop it up, and they got 3-on-3, and Murphin manages to take that to the chest plate and no rebound. So we have a far side face-off.
At the front of the cafe over there.
Yeah, there's Star Parks Cafe. Some
excellent chips and gravy, top tier.
And the recent addition of chili dogs I definitely do recommend. New South Wales taking it to the blue line and just elects to give it to his wing on the boards there again. Wheels it around, overshoots it. So again, blue line are calling for it. They're looking for that pass, and they do. And
back at the net, straight through the 5-hole.
Boo in the high slot. Just basically open passing lane and just straight through the 5-hole.
New South Wales is loving that, seeing their lead back on the board. So
again, New South Wales are back on the front foot. Let's see and hope that South Australia can actually answer back.
Here we go with that replay.
So again, from the corner board, straight through the high slot, and it's just one time that right in through under the 5-hole there.
Yeah, just slips it in there.
I don't think Murphin was very ready for that. He certainly didn't drop. He wasn't expecting it. Boo again coming in through there. Remlin Jensen trailing but couldn't get to the puck. So New South Wales take it back into their zone. As they wheel around, harassed there by Laria Hanley, but still managed to get it out to the zone and to New South Wales. Again, Boo driving forward as we puck, and then beautiful play by Trinka to bring it in. And we got a 2-on-1.
2-on-1, here we go.
Laria, how
well
did
defended by New South Wales.
Just held on to it just a little bit too long and allowed Kitching to slide across and get that pad. Amazing save there. Excellent setup by South Australia, and again, very unlucky not to score. It's been a bit of a feature of this game that certainly could have easily been the other way. So South Australia again bringing it up. O'Brien going back for that puck in deep. Getting challenged there by New South Wales. And Lex for a long stretch pass and manages it beautifully. We've got a 2-on-3. Goes for the heavy shot. A little bit of a rebound. Song unlucky not to get that with the glove and keep it in. And again, he has another shot, but Kitching sees that all day and just sticks out the glove. Again, New South Wales happy with that performance.
South Australia still such a strong offense, though.
It's excellent work by South Australia, and no matter the result of this game, I really think that everyone should be proud of their efforts.
Yeah, every team we've seen so far in this one has played phenomenally.
Yeah. So again, the future of hockey is very bright, and again, a bit of a foot chase, and unfortunately, somehow a soccer ball has gone onto the ice. Wrong sport, people. So it may be that we do have the AIHL players in here, and they may have just had the soccer ball for the warm-up, and it just may have spilt over.
That's not something you see every day. It's soccer ball in an ice rink.
Unless there is a game where there is played soccer on ice, which is quite hilarious to see.
I've never seen that one. I'll have to look it up later. Here we go with the neutral zone face-off.
Liney just making sure that all the players are in the correct position, and South Australia win that and bring that back. Kelly slides behind the net. takes his time, has a look up ice to see if there's an option and decides to go himself. Again, just pushes it forward, but just loses it at the critical moment. Again, just a little bit of to and fro with that, which is good to see. It's good, clean hockey. And a nice shot there by Zeal, but he's, I thought he had frozen that, but no, they keep playing the whistle. So rule number 1 of hockey is always play that whistle. Again, Kelly bringing it forward, finds Song, stretches out to get that, comes through and decides to go in the middle. Again, chasing hard. New South Wales really having a bit of difficulty. Puck skates in between the skates, and we've got a little bit of an offside call, a delayed offside, but it's touched up by New South Wales, so it's okay. Again, New South Wales, long stretch pass and out in the open. Somehow Ryan managed to scoot that off the New South Wales player. And again, we're looking with that. Song battling hard in the front. Cross there with him. Challenges and, Cross has got it. Somehow Kitching manages to stop 3 shots in a row. One from Song and 2 from Cross.
Manages to freeze that puck, which is huge relief for him, I imagine.
New South Wales are feeling the heat a little bit. Yes, they are in front on the scoreboard, but certainly in the play, it's I would dare say it's dead even. Again, the face-off. Dots and puck is dropped. New South Wales win that, but Halu picks that up, tries to swing it wide to her D partner, but just fans on the puck. Unfortunately, can't keep that in the zone, so O'Brien has to go back and chase it. And it's for an icing, which is, not a bad result for South Australia in the end.
Yeah, they'll be looking at another offensive face-off here, so it's trying to even up that scoreline.
As we go down to the bottom face-off, the team does get to choose which side of the face-off circle that they play from. So we're on the far side of the rink. So again, pardon the noise there. I think a bunch of sticks had fallen over. So Ong battling with the puck. Can't go it. New South Wales, they've got 3-on-2 there. Gets bumped off the puck. A little bit good physicality there in the boards, and the battle ensues. And the officials called it up as the puck is not moving. Both teams go for a change at this stage.
So yeah, what do you think will be going through the minds of New South Wales right now? Just trying to get in the back of the net, I suppose. Yeah, absolutely. They certainly will want to consolidate on that score. I don't think they want to sit back on it. South Australia are definitely too dangerous to allow that to happen. New South Wales have been used to 8-2 scorelines, so substantially different scorelines. But
again, a nice shot from the slots there, but off wide. So New South Wales managing to get it into the right position. Sam Garris passing it, looking for Boo, can't quite get there. And Halu passes it out.
South Australia just desperately trying to clear the zone and managed to do so.
Rinker and Kelly is picked up by Loria. Loria dances around and really undresses Dakota Cooper, unfortunately, for Dakota there. And New South Wales pick it up. Trinka passes it wide. Bettle, who loses it, unfortunately. And there's a foot race. The speed and the save. The magnificent save there, Murphin. Again, the scrambling. Amazing play by both sides. And we're going back. Physical play there. Bettle with the puck all by herself. Unable to control it, unfortunately, and it gets knocked out of the zone. Loria back in. Bettle needs to get back on side. She gets bumped out. Trinka gathers up that puck. It's stolen by Nalos, and it's a rebound, and it scores again on the rebound. Murphy could not control that puck, unfortunately, and it goes in. So we see that 5-3 scoreline coming up on the board momentarily.
New South Wales with the big sellies, even whilst they're on the ground.
They're excited.
Can you blame them?
That was Boo. Apologies, I thought that was Nellis, but that was Boo who scored that goal.
Here we go with the replay.
Has a heavy bump into the boards to finish it off. So looks like he's okay. He's back on the centre to take the face off. So he's okay. Again, South Australia win that puck. Take it wide. Hopefully South Australia can really work hard to answer that back. They haven't dropped their heads yet, which is excellent to see. So they're really still fighting and battling, and really, you know, they're still in it.
Yeah, that's it. No, don't run anyone off from this.
Song doing the heavy check, back checking, and Bettle, Fope, sorry. So it's trying to skate it up. Has a little bit of a collision in the end. Again, the puck just scuttles past the D, and there's a foot race. Again, Boo, super speedy there to beat the icing. Their hand was up from the line to call for the icing, but it was waved off due to the extra speed there. Again, battling in the corner. Look, this is a bit of a dangerous play coming up and looking for that centre pass. Again, sticks jamming up the centre slot. Gets it out of danger. New South Wales decides to steer it and reverse it and control it in their own zone, looking for that outlet pass, which they do find. As Hugo Arms comes in through the middle. He's got two other players, but he doesn't need them. He scores it himself.
Straight in the back of the net there, right around the goalie. Bench is erupting, same with the crowd.
It was a 3-on-2 play, and he opted to just have the shot, and unfortunately Murphy just couldn't control it. So again, we've got Hugo Arms scoring that goal there.
Here we go with the replay. Just managing to slip it in straight past it between all the defenders up the side of the goalie.
It's good to see young Hugo scoring. He did a lot of his hockey growing up in Newcastle here, so it's a local product. Again, Jack battling for the puck against Downey, but Downey managed to win it. Again, just controlling that puck, bringing it back and resetting. Again, looking for that outlet pass. They were always looking for the stretch pass, but Ung almost got into that pass, but Hugo managed to scoop it up. Again, dances toe drags, and Murphin manages to get that on the chest plate and no rebound, so nullifies the attack. Again, New South Wales are definitely on the front foot here.
That's it. They've got their footing. They're trying to widen that lead now, make sure they can assert their dominance as they've been doing all tournament. Yeah,
so maybe, certainly they've got their confidence. South Australia still battling, and again, somehow manages to scoop it before it crosses the line. That looked like it was going in, but Murphy managed to wheel it, and
not this time.
They are
another
pumped.
Goal from New South Wales.
They are pumped. That was Ethan Elford just pumping the air in excitement as he scores that goal. Oh, he's still pumped. He's pumping the air. Celebrating.
Big sellies. Here we go with that replay.
Again from the straight into the slot, and that's basic hockey play.
Yeah, just straight to that centering pass. Just flicks it in there.
Elford standing in what's known as the house, the area between the front paint and the hash marks. That's the most dangerous part of the hockey rink.
Here we go with a timeout for South Australia.
South Australia definitely want to try and settle things down and get their head back in the game.
Yeah, they're still not out of this. We've seen plenty of goals in short periods of time so far this tournament, so it's still anyone's game with how everyone's been playing lately, especially earlier this game.
Lee Murphin is feeling it there, unfortunately. You've got to feel it for a goalie that's, where there's been a couple of goals scored quickly on them.
Especially, when New South Wales has just been relentless with shots on them.
Hopefully the South Australian coach is just telling them to settle down and play their game, because frankly, the first two periods, their game was working. They were matching toe-to-toe with New South Wales. And it's only just really been in the third that New South Wales have managed to break away. So we have a scoreline of 7 goals to New South Wales and 3 to South Australia. So New South Wales do their chant and they're back out on the ice after that South Australian timeout, and the officials go to centre ice. And we're just about to set up for puck drop. We don't quite have a centre there yet. He's coming in and taking his time a little bit. And we get puck drop, and Brody steers it away to his D partner. And again, they're moving forward. Decide to push it in front of the puck, which is a bit of a risky play sometimes. You always tell my kids never to pass in front of the net, but you know, when you're good enough, you can get away with it.
And these kids well and truly are good enough.
Absolutely. And the puck is frozen by a body on the ice. It's thankfully no injury. It's just sometimes you land on your bum and you can't actually get back up. That's hockey play for you people. So
it's a slippery surface.
So Drinker wins that. Puck and Laurier chasing, and Hello gets muscled off that.
Still battling up against the boards though. New South Wales just desperately trying to get it out of the zone. South Australia trying to keep it in there to try and get more points on the board.
Apologies, that was Colin Bockus that got muscled off, and heavy shot by the drinker, but that's gloved quite handily by Kitching. So
yeah, just makes that look easy, just snatches it straight out of the air.
I wish I could do that.
Well, look, we can't all be that coordinated, unfortunately.
Guys, definitely a challenge. Again, a face-off drop, and puck is won and sent deep by New South Wales, and decide to reverse it around the net where it's safest, and just banks it against the boards, tries to reverse it again to switch the side of play, which can be a good idea, but Drinker manages to get that and takes it to the wing partner, who unfortunately steers it out a little bit. Benno just lost control a little bit of that.
Shoots wide.
Again, battling, and Boo gets that, and just mishandles it, and again, manages to block that shot that deflects wide. Again, another block. So many blocks, that's got to take a toll on the body. Again, those padding can only do so much.
Yeah, they'll be walking away with some bruises from this period.
Definitely have been on the wrong side of a puck and not been able to walk afterwards. Again, South Australia go for the breakout pass with the wing on the wall and looking for the centre in the middle, and finds the opposite number. Trinker, just overskates it and enters the zone and has to let it go. Zeal, absolute massive hit. Hugo takes a little bit of exception to that hit.
No arms raised though, so it's still battling it out for it.
It's clean hit. Just fans on a puck and managed to send it wide. As we do have an arm up. This time it's for a tripping call.
A little bit of a pushy shove over in the face-off zone over there.
I do think that number Damon Von Eyman was trying to play peacekeeper there a little bit.
We'll be having that 2-minute power play for New South Wales right now.
Yeah. Just trying to just tell him to settle down. You know.
Yeah, this is not what South Australia needs right now.
So we have a 2-minute power play penalty for tripping.
With only 5 minutes left in the game. Yeah, South Australia really needed to play a bit cleaner than that so they can get some more points on the board.
Nice little play to throw it deep and Song was in the right position, but Kitching was able to play it out, so wasn't able to capitalise that. Song keeps holding it. It's a great way to kill the penalty, but also gives them a chance to get a short-handed goal, which we have seen plenty of that in this tournament. Again, Zeal fans on it, and Reflin manages to glove that and freeze it on the ice. So
good penalty kill so far from South Australia. Managed to keep it in the New South Wales zone for most of it, so it's what they need to do to keep the offense on there even when they're on the penalty kill.
Absolutely, and we're again on the face-off. New South Wales sends it to the deep, sends it wide, unfortunately, for New South Wales. Tries to circle around. Downey gets it and winds up for the big slapper, but it doesn't really get fully onto it, which is fortunate for South Australia as they try and battle and get it out there. Manages to get it out, and pitching has to play it. Great challenge there. Fantastic challenge there from Cameron Jack there. Good forechecking, really putting pressure, and again putting pressure. Sends it to the slot, but we have an arm up.
It's like 2 minutes coming in for New South Wales.
It's Ethan Elford sent to the box.
Didn't quite see that gesture there for that one, so.
Yeah, roughing is the call.
Yeah. Still have 47 seconds of 4-on-4 hockey before South Australia go into a power play.
Again, folks, 4-on-4 hockey can be very exciting. A lot more ice, open ice. It favours those who can control the puck, and hopefully South Australia can do that before and then transition into a power play. New South Wales managed to sweep that out and push it into the centre as Brody just tries to just send it deep, which is scooped up handily by Kelly. Oh, sends it, tries to send it in the slot, but there's not quite anyone there for that pass. New South Wales have been doing that all game, just sending it right into the slot there. Trinker chasing down.
Stopping that icing, lovely.
Downey has to get that through there. Every pass, Liney has to jump over that puck. As we get through, Trinker just harassing with that forecheck and just putting a little bit of pressure. And again, lovely little bit of pressure.
Power play from South Australia now.
Oh, sends it across the face of the goals there. Fortunately for Murphin, there was no threat there as he scooped it away. Kelly sends it deep. Sends it on goal, so no icing there, which is fortunate. Pitching plays it, and lovely little pass forward. Sends it forward through there. And a little bit of collision. Got to still play the whistle there. Sends it out wide where there's no one there.
New South Wales with a strong penalty kill so far.
O'Brien in there by himself. Trinker calling for the puck. And again, New South Wales nullify that power play. We got 12 seconds left on this power play before we're even strength. South Australia have one last push with this. We've got 2 minutes left in this game, so still anything could happen. We saw that earlier in the early game.
5-on-5 hockey now.
Song has a shot, gets deflected right into the nets. And we have a face-off. Near side face-off.
It was a strong penalty kill from New South Wales there. Just honestly, most of it was offensive, so can't really complain trying for that short-handed goal.
Yeah, unfortunately, South Australia weren't really able to control it and get their set play there happening, which is a bit unfortunate, especially given the scoreline at the moment. They really do need to hold the puck and really make use of it. Again, a good little battle. Lovely little pass back by Halub. He sends it in there and allows South Australia to get into the zone. South Australia, Song sends it to the slot. Perfect play, but unable to connect. Halub again sends it back. And Song chases it down. Got to get there and put pressure on there. New South Wales managed to get it out there. Oh, a bit of a collision. The arm goes up. And South Australia will touch it up for the penalty. And we've been assessed a charging penalty.
So
on Cameron
South
Jack.
Australia, yeah, since spending the last little bit of the period in the penalty box, so
certainly not going to help their case.
No, yeah, definitely in dire straits for this game. I can't really see what they're going to be able to do from this point.
Definitely not good for their headspace at this point in the game. but really they had two excellent periods. And it's really only this period that's unfortunately the score has turned. So good little challenge there, and definite hooking penalty there from Sam Garris. That was very clear. You can see that all day.
Yeah, now we've got that 4-on-4 hockey. Some even strength hockey. It's what we like to see.
We have 1 minute, 1 second left in this final regular game of the 2022 Kurt DeFris tournament here in Hunter Ice Skating Stadium. So pretty much it looks like that the board is set for tomorrow's final series.
Yeah, we'll have to see how they roster out there. I'm not 100% certain how they schedule out the semis for this, but I'm sure we'll hear about that very soon tonight.
Well, stay tuned, folks. We'll certainly stay tuned for tomorrow. As they send it through, South Australia just having one last push, but it just gets deflected away. Kelly managed to keep it in. We've got 50 seconds left on this play. And New South Wales elect to throw it deep, but end up out-icing the puck, which means that South Australia will again be on the offence in the right zone. This is where they want to be. And
that's it, yeah. They want to just try and make their scoreline look a little nicer, I think.
Definitely, you know, with the time left, there may be a big ask to score 4 goals, but certainly South Australia want to at least put 1 or 2 in if they can, or at least 1 to, you know, really, you know, build some momentum for the next tournament. Should hold themselves, you know, hold their heads high and proud. Yeah, Trinker, go for the shot, and oh, he does manage to shoot it.
Straight in the back of the net, just bounces off those pads and up into the net.
And just like that, anything can happen. Trinker with the goal and to bring it to 4 for South Australia, 7 New South Wales.
Here we go with the replay. Just showing it, yeah, bouncing off that pad straight up in the net.
Nice shot there. And Kitching unable to control that puck as it shoots past him. So again, just a nice little icing on the cake to finish off. Disappointing result, obviously, for South Australia at this stage, but maybe I shouldn't rule them out yet. It's still 24 seconds left.
New South Wales looking to answer with their own goal, but being saved.
Murphy wasn't quite sure. He had it under the pad, but just couldn't feel it, obviously. He was looking for it there. So, again, New South Wales aren't holding back. They don't need to score another goal, but they, you know, so
they don't want to show that they're not able to score more, though. They want to prove their point.
Absolutely. So we got the final 15 seconds left of this regular Kurt DeFris tournament game before the finals. And New South Wales are in the box seat at the moment, but South Australia managed to Trinker again with a real good, heavy, hard skate. Just couldn't finish that, and there it is, folks.
Buzzer.
South Australia, hold your head up high. You did your state proud there.
Yeah, phenomenal game of hockey from both teams. The scoreline doesn't reflect just how well both teams have been playing all game.
And that really has been the story of the tournament. The scorelines have often not reflected the actual level of effort and commitment and how the players. And often with hockey, it can be just a lucky bounce of the puck. And
that's it, yeah.
Right position. So there we go. Handshakes all around. So New South Wales unbeaten in this competition so far. And so obviously they've got to play twice tomorrow.
Yeah, they'll have their semi game, and depending on the results of that, either in the gold medal or the bronze medal game.
Yeah, so we certainly expect them to carry on with this form that they have. They certainly don't show any signs of slowing down. However, South Australia did give them a good run for the money for the two solid, very solid periods.
That's it, yeah. And it's a good sign for New South Wales after 2 games today, showing that they can still keep the momentum going and not going to lose energy whilst having played a second game. So when they have their 2 games tomorrow, they'll still be able to perform in both of them.
Yeah, so hopefully South Australia can rest up and have a good night here in Newcastle.
Yeah, they'll get to relax and watch the semis and everything tomorrow.
Yeah.
Stick taps from New South Wales.
New South Wales raise the stick to the crowd. The Hunter Ice Skating Stadium's going off at the moment. There's a heavy New South Wales presence, as you would expect, in the rink at the moment. So you've been watching the 2022 Kurt DeFris hockey tournament here in Hunter Ice Skating Stadium, Newcastle. I've been Simon, and this has been Sam.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining us for this awesome game so far.
And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow for the final series.
Yeah, it'll be 7:30 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So that'll be semi-final 1. Not 100% sure of the draw yet, but that'll be posted soon on socials, I'm sure.
Yes, and certainly the second semi-final at 9:15, and then depending on the results, it's bronze at 3 o'clock, gold and 4:45. So New South Wales versus Victoria is the first final, and WA and Queensland yet again is the second semi-final. If you didn't see the WA-Queensland game earlier today, I suggest you do so, because that was an absolute cracker, and it went down to the wire. So
very tight scoreline all the way to the very end of the game.
So hopefully we can see that happen again. So that's it from us. Good night from the 2022 Kurt DeFris Hockey Tournament at Hunter Ice Skating Stadium. Good night to you all.